So if you are having any doubts in yesterday's session, in the first 5 minutes, we can discuss here. Later, we can discuss today's topics. Okay. See, once again, we can recollect what we have discussed yesterday. So these are the topics we have discussed yesterday. What are the different building blocks in an operational amplifier, and in each block which type of amplifier we can use, that is also we have discussed it, and how block diagram of operational amplifier will be like this, and each and every stage we have seen what are the different types of operational amplifiers or other amplifiers, how we can use, and also we clearly discussed that one also. And this is the circuit diagram for op-amp, and so these are the characteristics we have explained very clearly, each and every characteristics in the yesterday's session. So now we are going to see the practical specifications of operational amplifier, namely input offset voltage, input offset currents, and the input bias current, and differential input resistance, and input capacitance, and open loop voltage gain. Already we have CMRR, common mode rejection ratio, output voltage swing, and output resistance, offset voltage adjustment range, input voltage range, power supply rejection ratio, and output offset voltages. So these are the specifications where we need to take care of while using op amp in the real-time applications. So if you see, already I told you input offset voltage. So what is the input offset voltage? So this is the minimum voltage at the input terminal we need to apply so that the output of operational amplifier should be 0. Is that clear, all of you? Hello?
Clear, sir.
So why we need to apply input offset voltage is, so in most of the electronic devices, what is happening there is, even if you are not providing any input signal, so due to the maybe some of the minority carriers, what is happening there is output will be produced. So to nullify that output value, we are going to give some input value to make its operational amplifier is equals to 0. So that voltage is nothing but offset voltage. Similarly, like the way what is input? See, some still more lot of members are going to join again. So already it's 10 minutes over. Why you people are still you are joining? And Bashira. Okay. Similarly, like the way offset input current, input offset current, and input bias current. So input bias current is nothing but average of input current what we are applying, so which is flowing into the operational amplifier. And differential input resistance. So differential input resistance is nothing but input at a particular terminal. See, for operational amplifier we are having two input terminals. So for each and every input terminal also it is having a particular resistance. So that differential resistance is nothing but resistance of one pin 2 with respect to the pin 1, or else we can consider the resistance at pin 1 with respect to the pin 2. So that is called differential resistance. The difference between two resistance at the input terminals. And input capacitance. So why we are having input capacitance in the sensor? So transistor itself, it is able to produce two types of transistors also. So because of that, we need to calculate input capacitance while you are applying for DC, while you are applying analog signals. We need to consider take considerations of input capacitance also. Whereas if you are applying a DC source at the input terminal, so no need to take account of no need to take consideration for input capacitance. Hope you got this one. So why we need to consider input capacitance while applying AC sources, and why we can neglect input capacitance while providing DC sources? Can anyone? You have to answer this question. I think everyone got my question.
Repeat the question.
Hello.
Repeat the question.
Why we need to consider input capacitances while giving AC source as input signals? In the same way, at the same time, if you are providing DC source at the input terminal, so we no need to take considerations of input capacitance. Why? See, if you see AC analysis of particular transistor, whether it is PNP transistor, NPN transistor, in any mode, common mode amplifier as common base amplifier, or else common collector amplifier, while we are taking while we are up supplying DC voltages, so we no need to consider capacitive effect of transistor. But while giving AC source signal, so we need to calculate take count of capacitor also. So why we are doing like that?
Sir, in the capacitance it stores the energy, sir. That's why we
Yeah,
are
that is working of capacitance. That is fine. So what is the relation between AC source and DC source of to the capacitance?
Sir, in the sense in DC we cannot frequencies present, sir. So then capacitance did not store the DC source, sir.
How we can say that?
DC source cannot contains frequency, sir. AC source contains frequency. It can store only AC, sir. Capacitance can store only AC.
How? Can you specify the particular formula?
Sir.
What is the relation between capacitance and frequency? If you know that, we can say easily. What is the relation between frequency and capacitance? Once, very good. Up to 50% you have corrected, but we should know if you specify the relation between frequency and the capacitance, or reactance provided by the capacitance, then we can easily find it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me that relation. What is reactance? Can anyone?
Reactance of capacitor is equal to 1 by 2 pi Fc.
Can you repeat, Chakka Suresh?
Reactance of capacitor is equal to 1 by 2 pi Fc.
I'm not getting your answer. Can you repeat again? Your voice is a little bit disturbing.
Reactance of capacitor is equal to 1 by 2 pi Fc.
Or else you can place in our chat group so that everyone will see.
Non-resistant components.
Xc equals to 1 by 2 pi Fc. Then what is Xc?
Reactance, sir.
That is what I am asking. How can you define reactance of capacitor, or reactance of? See, reactance we can find only in inductors and capacitors. Then tell me what is inductance? Sorry, what is reactance?
Reactance in the sense of resistance, sir.
In the sense of resistance. Then what is resistance?
Resistance is it opposes the power supply, sir. It opposes
What is the difference between reactance and resistance? If both are doing same work, then why we are specifying for reactance for capacitor and inductor? Why can't you go for if both are resistance and reactance is same? Why can't you go for name it for resistance for even for capacitor and inductor also? But there is a little bit differences there that we need to know that, students. Okay. So what is the difference is so both are opposing sources. If the opposing source is provided by the resistor, then that opposing force is nothing but resistance. If the same opposing force is provided by the energy storing elements like inductor and capacitor, then opposing force is nothing but reactance. Why? Because if you see resistor, if any current is flowing through that one, so what is happening there is entire power is going to be absorbed by the resistor. Whereas coming to the inductor and capacitor, so what is happening there is it can store the energy. Even though it is opposing some force, but it can store the energy. It does not absorb the energy. So that is the reason even a circuit of, if the energy storage elements like inductor and capacitors are there, so entire power in that circuit does not nullify in the within suddenly. So inductor or capacitor opposes the sudden changes in supplies.
Yes.
Clear, all of you? And resistance plus reactance is always called as impedance. So we need to clarify these basics are we should we should observe very clearly. Most of the students what they are feeling is resistance and impedance is same. So that is not the way. Resistance and impedance are both are little bit different. So impedance is nothing but resistance plus reactance, which is used for frequency analysis. Okay. So by using that formula, if you see that is the reactance X equals to 1 by 2 pi Fc. So Fc is nothing but what is the frequency value for DC source? Frequency
Zero.
of DC source?
0, sir.
0. So 1 by 0, what is its meaning?
Infinite.
Infinite, sir. Infinity.
Infinite. So opposing force given by the capacitor to the DC source is infinite. So obviously it will work as open circuit. Clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
So while taking capacitors in its parallel combination, so what is happening if their open circuit is happening in parallel combination? So in the next besides the branch, every current is flowing through that one. So that is the reason why we are not taking count of capacitors while dealing with the DC source. Okay. So here also input capacitance of op amp we need to consider only when we are applying AC sources only. Is that clear, all of you? Hello.
Yes, sir.
And open loop gain, already I told you open loop gain, and we have discussed, and CMRR also we have discussed common mode rejection ratio, output voltage swing. So this is the what is the maximum value in the occurred by the output is nothing but output voltage swing. So what is the maximum change occurred particular that value is not indicated as output voltage swing. For example, this is depending upon how the different input voltages we are applying at the input terminals of operational amplifier. If you are applying 5 volts, then output swing will be another value. If you are applying 13 volts, if you are applying 18 volts, output swing may get increased. So maximum output voltage, maximum change occurred in output is nothing but output voltage swing. So output resistance, which is also measured at output terminals, we can see while problem solving. And input this one also we have discussed offset voltage adjustment range and input voltage ranges. So what is the input ranges for op amp? Yesterday end of the session we already clearly mentioned the range. Input voltage range for operational amplifier.
0 to 100, sir.
Oh, if you are providing 100, this is the simple IC. Even for our mobile phone also, we are not able to apply more than 5 volts. Then how how we can apply 200 volts to particular IC?
Sorry, sir.
This is not a refrigerator, this is not a AC. Even for them also, we are not applying directly. Even our personal computer is also we are not able to understand. So don't worry. Who's that one? Who tell you 200? Hello.
15 volts. Dual supply.
Yeah, 5 to 20 volts is the maximum range we can apply to the operational amplifier. So if more than that voltage applied, so what is happening is IC is going to be damaged. See, these are the ranges. Yesterday we have discussed it. And differential amplifier. Differential amplifier output is always equals to AD. AD is differential gain, V1 minus V2 difference of input signals. And what is CMR ratio? It is the ratio of differential gain by common gain. So how we can get common gain? Common gain is provided by V naught equals to, so clearly I'm mentioning here. So V is equals to AC into AC is nothing but common mode voltage gain, and V1 plus V2 by 2. V1 plus V2 whole divided by 2. This is the formula for common mode voltage output voltage when we are using common mode. So here AC is nothing but common mode gain, AD is nothing but differential mode gain. So if you take this ratio, AD by AC, that is nothing but common mode rejection ratio. So why? Because most of the operational amplifiers does not meet common mode operations. So in most of the times we need differential mode of operations only. So that is the reason why we are taking to CMMR ratio. And already this, I think this one is also we mentioned clearly yesterday, input offset voltages. Input voltage that must be applied at between the two terminals of op amp to make the output voltage equals to 0. So that voltage is always 6 millivolts for any 741 operational amplifier. Input offset current. So this is also the input offset current. It is having a particular formula that is nothing but base IB input current at one terminal minus input current at second terminal. So for IC 741 it is 200 nano amperes. See here, this is the operational amplifier. How we are going to connect input terminals to the two terminals. Already I told you in block diagram it is represented itself two terminals out with inverted triangle. So is everyone able to see this diagram?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. If you observe here, minus here in this triangle minus symbol is there. That minus symbol is the indicating that inverting input, and plus symbol is indicating that non-inverting input. So whatever the signal we are applying at plus terminal, so in the output input and both are in phase. If you are applying sinusoidal signal, we are getting sinusoidal also. Whereas in minus in this is not inverting terminal. If you are applying sinusoidal signal, so obviously we will get the cosinusoidal signal in the. So both output and input are out of phase. So that is the difference between two input terminals. Okay. So this is the way how we are going to give input signals to the operational amplifier. So in this like this the circuit we can do a lot of problems. So there we can see clearly. So here to tell the what is the base current only, this circuit diagram can be shown. So this bias current is nothing but ratio of input currents at the input of operational amplifier. See here. This is IB1, IB at inverting terminal. So here also another base current will be provided if you are applying input source at in a non-inverting terminal. So the ratio of two input currents is nothing but bias current of operational amplifier. So this is also we need to mention very clearly. So what is the bias or bias current for a operational amplifier is nothing but it is the ratio of two base currents are at the input terminals of operational amplifier. That is nothing but IB1 plus IB2 by 2. That is the formula for bias currents of operational amplifier. So for IC741, it is 500 nano amperes. As it is a current, we need to mention its ampere. So already I told you differential. Just now I explained differential input resistance. So differential input resistance is measured either at the inverting or non-inverting input terminal with other input terminal is grounded. See here in this diagram also we can observe it. So other input, if this input terminal is directly grounded, then we can measure at, if non-inverting terminal is directly grounded, we can take the input at inverting terminal as differential resistor. If inverting terminal is grounded, then we can measure the resistance at non-inverting terminal. Are you getting this one, everyone? Are you able to follow? So what is differential resistance in the sense, if you are making this is plus symbol is always indicating non-inverting terminal, non-inverting input terminal. Minus symbol is always indicating inverting terminal. Inverting terminal in the sense output will be out of phase. Non-inverting terminal in the sense output and input both are in phase only. Okay. So while taking differential differential resistance, if you are going to make this terminal is ground, then what is the resistance available at non-inverting terminal is nothing but differential resistance. Or else we can make this ground is also 0. Sorry, this terminal is also connected to ground. Then we are able to calculate resistance at non-inverting terminal. Then that resistance also we can take, specify as differential resistance of operational amplifier. So differential resistance, either we can take it at non-inverting terminal or inverting terminal, but with other terminal should be make it ground. If you are measuring resistance at particular terminal input terminal, so while other terminal is going to be grounded, then the resistance available at the input terminal can be called as differential input of particular operational amplifier. Clear all of you? And CMMR as usual, it is always gain in differential amplifier by gain in common mode amplifier. And output voltage also we have seen discussed just now. So we can read out once again the operational amplifier output voltage gets saturated at VCC, and it is in the negative half cycle it could be minus VEE. So already I told you what is output voltage swing in the sense, this is the maximum voltage produced at the output terminals. That is in the sense if maximum voltage is produced, so then what we can say that, can anyone, if you take a particular transistor, if the current is saturated in this transistor, so what is in which region transistor is going to operate? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yeah, tell me. Why everyone got suddenly become silent? If you observe characteristics of a transistor, what is happening there? Initially, it is going to be increased. After reaching the maximum position, there is no more increases. In that, the curve will go flatten. Means once the maximum range is reached, so there is no way to increase the output. At that stage, transistor is going to be operate in saturation region. Is that clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Once the maximum value is reached, so we can say the transistor is operating in saturation mode. Clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Clear, sir.
So similarly, like the way, if operational amplifier is also reached saturation position, so we can say that that saturated value is almost equals to the whatever the DC sources we are applying at the its DC terminals. See here again, once observe the connections of this operational amplifier. Sorry, not this one. We can see the block diagram of operational amplifier. See here, where in which terminal we are applying DC source to this particular operational amplifier. This is the non-inverting terminal. So non-inverting terminal always represented with help of plus. Inverting terminal is always represented with the help of minus symbol here. And this is VCC, and this is VEE, and this is output terminal. So how many pins are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pins are there. So five pins are there. So now we can tell me where we can apply DC source to this operational amplifier. What happened to all? Hello? Again, we can move back. If you take ECL app, and we can imagine transistor in amplification, transistor as amplifier. There we can always connect VCC. So which terminal, which source we can connect VCC? DC source is connected at VCC.
Yes, sir.
Then why once you are not able to tell? I think remaining students also not following correctly. Okay, that is fine. See here VCC we are going to give always DC source only. So how much DC source we can provide to the operational amplifier? Just now I tell you we have discussed it, that is 5 volts to 22 volts. So if you are providing 5 volts here, so what is the output is almost equals to 5 volts in its saturation region. That is the maximum swing output. We can say that maximum output swing voltage. Okay. See here once again we can read this definition also. See here, the operational amplifier output voltage gets saturated at VCC and minus VEE, and it cannot produce the output voltage more than VCC. So if you are applying 5 volts at VCC, so output is not greater than 5 volts, but output will reach to 5 volts only, almost equal to 5 volts only. Clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
So see here, if you see, so for IC 741, what is the saturated voltage? Saturated voltage is in the sense that is the maximum voltage produced by the operational amplifier. So here maximum for IC 741, what is the maximum voltage? 13 volts. You can see this one.
Yes, sir.
13 volts, where if you are providing 15 volts at VCC, where all of you, if you are providing 15 volts at VCC, then output will be 13 volts. That is in the sense all output is almost maximum output from the operational amplifier is almost similar, equal to the VCC source. That is I want to tell you, express here in terms of output voltage swing. Power supply rejection ratio. So this one also we mentioned clearly. Power supply, it is the ratio of change in input offset voltage to the change in supply voltage producing it. Keeping the supply voltage is constant, it is also called power supply sensitivity. So what is happening there, while we are providing input supply, so it can adjust automatically offsets current and offset voltages without disturbing what are the input signals we are applying. On that activation only, automatically it is adjusted its offset voltages and offset currents to nullify the output current initially. Sorry, to nullify the output offset voltages or offset currents are equals to 0. So making that adjustment, it should not disturb the how much input signal, how much input current or voltages we are providing at the input terminals, that should not disturbed by the operational amplifier. So that ratio is called power supply rejection ratio. So these are the formula for power supply rejection ratio. We can use it in problem solving only. And slew rate. What is slew rate? Already I told you. The maximum rate of change of output voltage within the time is nothing but slew rate. Hello.
Yes, sir.
So what maximum voltage rate of change of time is nothing but dV0 by dt. As V0 is equals to V0 is nothing but output voltage. See the another formula for slew rate is S equals to I max by C. Here we can see the slew rate equation. So if you consider V0 equals to Vm into sin omega t. So what is the output for operation output from we can take output as sinusoidal signal. Is it visible to all?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you are taking derivative of output signal, that is nothing but dV0 by dt. So what is its value? Vm omega cos omega t. Clear?
Yes, sir.
But what is slew rate? Slew rate is rate of change of voltage at maximum. Maximum rate of change of voltage is nothing but slew rate. So in order to make this equation maximum, it is possible only when, what is the maximum value of cos omega t?
1.
1. Very good. Why you are hesitating to tell me? Who is that one? Very good. Who is she? Anusha. Very good, Anusha. Okay. So if you are placing cos omega t 1 here, then this derivative will become slew rate. So here slew rate is equals to dV0 by dt at maximum value. So maximum value of cos omega t is always 1. So if after replacing 1, so yes, slew rate will become Vm into omega, and already we know that omega is nothing but angular frequency. So angular frequency is nothing but 2 pi f. Okay, so we need to consider frequency for 360 degrees. That is the reason why angular frequency, rotating frequency. So there is the difference between f and 2 pi f. Okay, omega is angular frequency, f is normal frequency. Relation between omega and frequency is 2 pi f. So 2 pi f into Vm is nothing but maximum voltage. In the sinusoidal, Vm is nothing but maximum amplitude. So what is this ratio? Voltage by time. That is in the sense volts per second. So what are the formula for slew rate is always volts per second. This type of this type of units you may see in your online bits also. So the slew rate, what are the slew rate voltage? Units for slew rate, volts per second. That we need to mention clearly. So from this, we are able to calculate the operating frequency of operational amplifier. That is nothing but Fm equals to S by 2 pi into Vm. So even for so from this slew rate, we can find how for which frequencies the operational amplifier is going to be work correctly. That frequency is nothing but Fm equals to slew rate by 2 pi Vm. So if you specify the maximum voltage and slew rate, we can find the what is the operating frequency or what is the bandwidth of particular operational amplifier. Clear all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So remaining concepts are gain bandwidth product and equivalent noise voltage and noise currents, average temperature coefficients, output offset voltage and thermal voltage drift, AC characteristics, frequency response using Bode plot, we can see in the communication. So meanwhile, you can tell me what is happening. So person by person, I am going to put some questions on you. I think no one is giving a particular response to me. Even for your basics also, you are not able to get that. I am not able to get answer from you students. So now you can tell me, everyone can answer me. So what we have done up to now, I think first unit, yeah, I think everyone is having PPT, first unit PPT. So now you can tell me, randomly I will choose particular persons and you should answer them. You should answer my questions in the next 15 minutes. Okay.
Sir, screen visible outlet, sir.
I am not explaining anything, Mr. Saidam.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Tell me just now what I told you. Sairam. Mr. Sairam.
Sir, screen visible outlet, sir.
Okay, that is fine. So where I stop at today's discussion?
Sir, ఇప్పుడే present అయ్యాను సార్ నేను.
Yeah.
Just 15
Why this much of late?
net problem, sir.
Okay, you can
Net
stay
problem,
there.
sir, net problem.
Okay, Vamsi J7. Vamsi. Jyoti Swarupa.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you tell me what is differential amplifier? Jyoti Swarupa, what is differential amplifier? Sujana?
Sir,
Tell me what is differential amplifier?
DC coupled amplifier, sir.
DC?
Coupled amplifier.
Sorry, I'm not getting your answer. Can you repeat again, Ms. Sujana?
DC
Sujana
coupled
garu.
amplifier, sir.
DC coupled amplifier. So what is that meaning, a DC coupled amplifier in the sense? DC coupled, still I did not listen this word, DC coupled. Okay, by the next class, hope everyone can read out first unit and you're able to tell me the answers to my questions. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Vamsi. I think from your side, I don't have any issues, and most of the students